Let's jump right into the and or statements in Excel. And so let's go ahead and we'll use an example of winning the lottery. So here's the winning lottery numbers, and we have a set of lottery tickets that we've played. And so we want to go ahead and check and see if we've won the lottery. So in this case, we're going to be using the and statement. So here I've already pre-written out the statement for you. So we'll go ahead and we will plug this in right here. And there it is. And here you can see that this one, all of them match what's up here in the winnings numbers. So 7, 18, 22, 27, and 33. And so how did I make this? Well, basically looking at this, we're going to go ahead and compare. First, we're going to go ahead and use the first row in our table because that it automatically applies and converts the equation going down the line. And I'll show you what that means. So here we're looking at B5 is equal to B1, and what these dollar signs do is it makes sure that it's always referring to B1. So as the equation moves down the row, and you can see that that equation is going to change depending on the row that you're in, but the cell that we're actually looking at, B1, is never going to change because we put those dollar signs in front of it. So as you go down the row, you can see that everything shifts down to the next row and does the comparison of that row. And with that, we can see that the and statement, each one has to be correct in order for it to be true. So looking at this, we can see that 7, 18, 22, 27, and 33 are correct. And you can see that we have other ones here that are correct, 7, 18, but this one is not, and then these two are the same, and that returns a false. So with the and statement, everything in the and statement has to be true in order for it to be true. So here we go in this ticket, that's the winning lottery ticket. Now when we're looking at the or statement, so we're going to go ahead and plug in the or statement. And again, it's the same principle as the and statement. When you apply it into this table, it's automatically going to drag it down. If it's not in a table format, you can always go down here and drag the equation down, and it's going to be the same effect. But again, using that fixed cell up top, the B1, to determine the winning numbers, we're making the comparison going now into row B. Oops, I did B11. So we're going to go ahead and convert this to B12 because we're actually going to be looking at the wrong numbers here. So let's go ahead and change this to B12, D12, and then F12. Okay, so now we went ahead and changed that. So now it's actually pulling from the correct row. Now you can see it's pulling from this row. So you can see that in all these instances, the or statement is true because all it takes is one of these values to equal the ones up here, and the statement's true. And on this last example down here, you can see that there's not one that matches the one in the winning numbers. So therefore, this statement is the only one in here that's false because in each of these, B15, so this would be B15, is not equal to B1, 19 not equal to C1, and so on and so forth. And since none of them are true, then it's false because the or statement, all it needs to be true is for any one of the values within the or statement to be true. So that's a quick summary, and you could see some example equations of how to use the and or statements. It's definitely a good way of using or adding multiple conditions to an if statement or to the conditional formatting within Excel. So those are probably the two easiest ways to use it. Really, it produces a currency of true-false. So anything in Excel that accepts a true-false value, you can use the and or condition for it. So now that we've already walked through the brief tutorial on both the and or statements, the remainder of this video is going to be covering some more details on them, and then in particular some more advanced examples using them together, both the and or statements, to show how complex conditional statements can be made. So the biggest benefit, like we said before in the tutorial portion, is that you can add multiple conditions to different statements within Excel, and that's really beneficial in the if statement and in the conditional formatting. And we did make a previous video on the if statement. I'm going to go ahead and put the details or the link to that video in the description down below. And just to note that the and or statement, the result of it is going to be either a true or false value. And really anywhere in Excel that accepts a true and false value, you can use the and or statements. And just a reminder, when using the and statement, every item within the and statement has to be true in order for it to be true. And if any one of the items is false, then the statement's going to be false. In order for the or statement to be true, only one of the items in the or statement has to be true. In order for it to be false, every single item in it has to be false. So now let's run through a couple examples of using the and or statements together. And so here at the top we have one of those examples, and the and statement basically encompasses an or statement within it. And so the first item in the and statement is going to be the vehicle. That's going to equal car, so that eliminates the top two. Then the second condition within the and statement is actually an or statement. So the car can be blue or orange, so that still eliminates the top. The drive of the car can equal two-wheel drive. That could be either one of the ones on the bottom. And then finally, the last one, the make equals BMW. And the only one that meets all those criteria would be the bottom right. So here's a similar example, just a little bit more complex. It has a couple more or statements within it, so you can see how you can actually increase the complexity of your and or statements by using them together. And so in this one, in the and statement, we'll see which one meets the criteria. So the first statement would be a vehicle has to be an SUV or truck, so that gives us the top two. Orange or gray, still the top two. Four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, so still top two. And then finally, the make is equal to Mercedes, which would be the top right. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and please do hit that subscribe button and give it a thumbs up. Thanks so much.